Very hot temperatures starting today and all the way through next week. We'll talk about how hot it will feel outside in the next week and also when to expect some relief coming up.
And dangerous conditions. That stretch of heat could cause health issues. The signs of heat exhaustion you need to look out for. Plus, a way to beat the heat. GalaxyCon organizers share ways they're recommending fans stay cool this weekend. That's surely going to be a very busy place. Some nice cool AC inside is going to be great this weekend. Thanks for joining us here on your Friday. I'm Michelle McConaughey. It is a WRAL weather alert day because of this intense heat. Let's get right back to Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center talking about what we can expect these next couple of days, Grant.
Yeah, heat index values will peak around 105 to 106 today, but then by the end of the weekend, we could see some spots that hit around 110 to 112 for the heat index. So very intense heat for the weekend and also for the first half of next week. So we're tracking that. A heat advisory in place today already. Make indoor plans as much as possible for the weekend and through the first half of next week because it will be very hot. And also we'll have some very warm nights as well. So it'll be hard to get some relief during the overnight hours as it stays warm and humid into each morning. Heat advisories in place across our area from 11 a.m. through 8 p.m. this evening. Peak heat index values between 103 and 106 on this WRAL weather alert day. You can see the hour-by-hour heat index around 100 degrees for the heat index by around 11 a.m. noon, and that lasts all the way through 7 o'clock. And as we head into the weekend, we'll see more days and more period of time throughout the day where we'll see those heat index values above 100 degrees. So stay hydrated, take those breaks indoors whenever possible. Ken?
Hi, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Just a handful of incidents starting our traffic map this morning, but a couple I want to bring your attention to, particularly this one here on Lewisburg Road in the southbound lane near Perry Creek Road. You can see the huge delays it's causing there on Lewisburg Road. But so if you have an opportunity, Capitol Boulevard, US 1 probably is your best bet in terms of an alternate route to avoid what's happening there on Lewisburg Road. The other incidents we're looking at is this crash on Sunnybrook Road near Pool Road. Right now, we're not seeing any delays in that particular area, but just be mindful of that police activity. Things are definitely easing up in those I-87 southbound lanes coming in out of Nightdale this morning. As we take a live look at I-87 and the Smithfield Road exit. So that's really good news for those of you coming in from Nightdale and even all points east like Brindell as well. In terms of other major routes coming into the capital city, we talked about Capitol Boulevard being an alternate route to Lewisburg Road, just a 4-minute delay if you're coming in using US 1 Capitol Boulevard. Over in Durham, though, very little to no delays whatsoever, nothing that's going to make you late. I do want to isolate I-885 because we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown there. If you're using I-885 to get into Durham, just a 2-minute delay. But if you're trying to get to I-40 off of I-885, you're looking at a 6-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
All right, thank you, Ken. Breaking news, police in Chapel Hill say a 16-year-old who is wanted in connection with a carjacking on East Franklin Street has been arrested. Police announced this morning that Sean Dunn was taken into custody in Durham. U.S. Marshals assisted in the arrest. Dunn is charged in the carjacking as well as in an armed robbery in the area of Old Chapel Hill Road. Investigators are also looking for a person of interest in connection with both cases. That person was seen at a gas station in Durham just after the armed robbery on July 17th. Anyone with information should call 911. And with this heat wave expected to last for the next 6 days at least, there are some things that you need to know to stay safe if you're spending time outside. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Lake Johnson with what dangers you need to be on the lookout for. Kelsey.
Yes, Michelle, we're seeing a lot of folks here at Lake Johnson this morning, walking, running, fishing, getting all the time they can in outside before we really reach the heat of the day a little bit later. We are gearing up for 6 consecutive WRAL weather alert days, all because of this intense heat. Now, you just heard in the forecast that we will be under an extreme heat watch this weekend, so you have to protect yourself from these dangerously high temperatures. So here are some signs of heat exhaustion. Heavy sweating, dizziness, nausea, and weakness. If you're experiencing any of this, move to a cooler area and drink water. If those symptoms don't stop, get medical help. We spoke with people who were exercising early this morning here at Lake Johnson.
The earliest time to come out here and enjoy yourself is to avoid all that heat and being, and keep myself hydrated while I'm out here. Because one thing I'm worried about my health, I don't want to lose too much electrolyte in the heat so much.
And that's one of the best things to do. Stay hydrated. You need to make sure that you are pre-hydrating. So you need to drink before you actually get thirsty. That's the best way to regulate your body temperature and keep you from overheating. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Duke Energy is preparing for more energy use during the heat wave. Air conditioning is the biggest energy user in homes. Duke Energy is expected to be a strain on the grid, but they are prepared for it.
We prepare really months in advance to be ready for these types of situations throughout the year. That begins really with the maintenance on our power plants to make sure that they're in top running condition. They're machines, and they're machines that are designed to work in extreme conditions, just like the power grid itself.
And Duke Energy is encouraging customers to take steps to save energy. That includes setting your thermostat to the highest comfortable setting, using cool water when washing clothes, and close curtains and blinds. Also, if you're using a ceiling fan, make sure it is in a counterclockwise direction. Well, fans at GalaxyCon in Raleigh will also be trying to stay cool. It's Raleigh's largest event at the convention center, and that means really long lines. WRAL's Ali Calabar shares what event organizers recommend you do during this heat wave.
Not only is there a lot to see and do here at GalaxyCon, including this fandom right here, but it's also a way to escape the heat. This is video of GalaxyCon from last year. You can see the crowds. It's outgrown the convention center. This year, there will be free outdoor events as well. It's called Street Fest on Saturday and Sunday. They say they will have multiple tents set up and refreshments. A ticket inside will get you to many activities in the AC. We spoke with one GalaxyCon super fan who got here 4 hours early to beat the lines.
If you're not here early, you can be at the very end of the line, and it can take hours to get in. And right now, this is perfect temperature out here. I will be happier once I'm inside.
And while people wait outside, there's a water jug out here as well as fans to keep everyone cool, let people have a nice breeze. We know Street Fest is Saturday and Sunday. GalaxyCon runs through Sunday as well. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
And you can track the rising temperatures with the newly redesigned WRAL weather app. It is free to download from your phone's app store. Make sure to turn on push notifications so you can get important weather alerts sent right to your home screen. Raleigh police have a man in custody after they say he accidentally shot an AK-47 into an occupied apartment. This happened on Westville Court off Lake Boone Trail at 1:40 this morning. Police say luckily nobody was hurt. Records show 20-year-old Anthony Finch is facing charges, including discharging a weapon into occupied property. And this morning, Raleigh police are looking for the man accused of shooting someone who refused to give him a ride. Sky 5 flew over that scene near downtown Raleigh yesterday. Investigators say a man was shot while sitting in his car after 2:30 in the afternoon. This happened on Keeter Center Drive, which is near a fire department training facility. Fortunately, he is expected to live. The situation made neighbors especially uneasy.
Get a ride. And man said no. Why would you shoot him? You know? I mean, it's just, God ain't good. God ain't pleased with this. You know, the way life's going now and the way people are treating people. God don't like this.
Police do not have anyone in custody for the shooting at this time. They have also not identified the men involved. And we are following the search for that suspect. We'll have the latest updates on the driver's condition and what we learn about the shooter. That's on our evening news from 4 to 7:30. A man died in a reported drowning in Moore County. It happened along Nashua Court in Pinehurst. Officials say the 36-year-old man was found unresponsive in a private pool. He was taken to the hospital where he died. And today, Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell will meet with the Department of Justice for a second day. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche met with Maxwell and her attorneys for several hours yesterday. The DOJ is looking to release grand jury transcripts from Epstein's case. It is not clear what was discussed with Maxwell. Maxwell's attorney says she answered every question. Blanche posted on X that the DOJ, quote, will share additional information about what we learned at the appropriate time. And a hearing in North Carolina's lawsuit against FEMA could come in a matter of weeks. North Carolina and 19 other states are suing the agency over a canceled grant program aimed at helping towns better prepare for disasters. State Attorney General Jeff Jackson toured a pump station in Hillsborough badly damaged during Chantal yesterday. Flooding caused gallons of sewage to spill right into the Eno River. A project to move that station out of a floodway is $6 million short after FEMA cut the grant program.
I believe we are on very strong legal footing. As I said, this was not FEMA's money to cancel. This was a congressionally approved program. For FEMA to cancel the entire thing without any notice, without any heads up, is clearly against the law.
FEMA announced the program was ending back in April. A spokesperson called it wasteful and ineffective. Jackson says nearly $200 million in resiliency funding to North Carolina has been canceled. Time now is 8:11. Coming up, lower prices. You are paying less at the gas pump on average today. A reason behind the drop and why it may not last. Plus, AI backlash. An airline announced it'll use AI to adjust ticket prices. Why lawmakers are concerned.
And already warming up this morning, around 80 degrees across the triangle and points to the south as well. I'll let you know how hot we'll get for your Friday afternoon and how intense the heat will get into this weekend and next week. That's coming up. 8:14 now on this Friday morning. Plenty of blue skies from Fayetteville. A nice start to the day, but we're quickly warming up already. It's going to get hot by this afternoon. Town by town, you'll see over in Clinton, 76 degrees. Fayetteville at 80 degrees this morning. Southern Pines also at 80 degrees. Roxborough at 73 and Rocky Mount at 77 degrees to start the day, but with tons of sunshine. Even hotter this afternoon. Temperatures in the mid to upper 90s on this WRAL weather alert day. 98 in Raleigh, Clinton at 96 degrees. Goldsboro at 97, Roanoke Rapids at 94 degrees by this afternoon. It is a WRAL weather alert day because we have a heat advisory in place. I'll talk more about that heat advisory and extreme heat watch for the weekend and how long this intense heat lasts coming up in a bit. Ken?
Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Traffic really beginning to pick up on I-40 westbound, particularly around the Lake Wheeler Road exit. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. You can see the heavy traffic this time of the morning. In terms of that southern loop of the Beltline, believe it or not, between US 1 and the Beltline, that southern loop, no delays. So even though there's a heavy congestion out there, traffic is definitely moving on at a nice steady clip.
All right, thank you, Ken. Let's check on your gas prices around our area. AAA says Raleigh's average is $2.93 a gallon right now. Durham Chapel Hill's average is $2.96, and Fayetteville's average is $2.83. Raleigh's price is down 7 cents from last month. Durham Chapel Hill is down 5 cents, and Fayetteville saw the biggest drop with fuel 12 cents cheaper. And something to watch out for: future price in the future prices. President Donald Trump's ongoing trade negotiations.
There is some concern that new tariffs Trump has mentioned on Russia or anyone that does business with Russia, that's really pushed the price of diesel up because Russia produces a lot of heavy oil products and they also produce a lot of diesel.
Gas Buddy says the recent dip you've seen at the pump is in part due to oil prices dropping. Oil is down more than $2 a barrel. And the rideshare app Lyft is rolling out new features to personalize your experience. The new tools include letting riders pick their favorite drivers and connect them with whenever they are available. They are also adding a feature that lets you block certain drivers as well. Several agencies took part in a water landing jump training in Fayetteville. The Fayetteville Fire Department shared these pictures of the training. They worked with the Cotton Fire Department and Fort Bragg Emergency Services. The fire department says the training is part of the U.S. Army's commitment to readiness and the department's commitment to supporting its regional partners. A famous Durham Public Schools alumni is back in town this weekend to give back. Trey Murphy having his annual free basketball skills development clinic and back to school bash. He plays for the New Orleans Pelicans in the NBA. The basketball clinic is happening today. The back to school giveaway is happening tomorrow. Both are open only to people who registered. An airline is facing backlash after announcing it'll change ticket prices based on AI data. Delta says it is using AI to eliminate the manual process in dynamic pricing. They say it's a practice they've used for more than 30 years.
I think why consumers particularly have a problem with some of the recent news is it's not based upon their IP address. It's actually based more upon them as an individual. So I think it calls into question a lot of consumer privacy issues.
Delta does say that none of its services provide offers based on customers' personal information, but it is still not clear exactly what data they are collecting from you. Some Democratic lawmakers calling on the airline to explain the proposal, which they say causes privacy concerns. Today, the Budweiser Clydesdales are coming to Durham. The world-famous horses will parade up Blackwell Street and around the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. The Bulls are home tonight, so you can stop by to see the Clydesdales and then head inside the DBAP for the game. And the town of Garner is adding more parking downtown. It'll be along Parker and Pearl Streets near the History Museum. City leaders plan to have crews widen the roads and add more sidewalks. They say they'll use bond project funding to cover the cost. Construction should wrap up by the end of the year. A 10th anniversary tour, a Monster Jam celebration, and an outdoor summer fest. There's a lot going on in the Triangle this weekend. Let's take a look at your WRAL out and about best bets. Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, the Turnpike Troubadours, and more are coming to Raleigh. The Outlaw Music Festival is heading to Coastal Credit Music Park at Walnut Creek. It starts Sunday afternoon at 3:45. Tickets are still available, starting at $68. And Monster Jam, back at the Lenovo Center. There are 2 shows on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Tickets are still available for as low as $30. You can pay $20 to join in on the pit party and get up close and personal with the monster trucks before their performances. Also, Summerfest coming to Fenton and Cary. There will be magic shows, jugglers, along with face painting, balloon animals, and carnival games. This is a live look there right now. It's happening from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. tomorrow. And for more weekend fun, you can visit WRAL.com and search Out and About. There's a lot going on this weekend. It's going to be sunny, but it's going to be really hot, so you have to take those precautions when you're outside. Meteorologist Grant Skinner talking about how hot we're going to be, Grant.
Yeah, Michelle, it's going to be really, really hot this weekend. Temperatures climbing to around 100 degrees on Saturday and Sunday after a hot day today, and staying hot for the first half of next week. So it's going to be important to practice heat safety, not just today, but over the next several days. I know it's going to be an exhausting thing, but again, just make sure to be safe out there over the next several days. Here's Raleigh right now. It's beautiful out there this morning. Plenty of sunshine to start the day. It's hard. It's such a gorgeous start, and you want to spend time outdoors, but it's going to be really hot by this afternoon. So you'll want to limit the time outdoors. Try to take some breaks in the AC whenever possible, every 15 to 30 minutes or so. 78 degrees in Raleigh this morning. Southern Pines at 80 degrees. South Hill at 78. Rocky Mount at 77 to start our Friday. You can see heat advisory in place. It's a WRAL weather alert day. This is in place for the entire area with the exception of Person County, but it's still going to be hot up in Roxborough and points to the north and west, even back towards Greensboro. Still a hot day, just not quite in the heat advisory criteria. But other spots are 103 to 106 for the heat index by this afternoon. Again, that lasts through 8 p.m. this evening, as we'll likely see heat index values above 100 degrees for a long stretch of time today, probably around 6-7 hours. So the heat index by this afternoon peaking around 105 in Raleigh, Benson, Goldsboro, possibly as high as 107, 108 towards Fayetteville, 104 Lewisburg, South Hill at 104. So again, a long stretch of time where it's going to feel very hot out there. We'll be hoping for at least a brief shower or storm, but we're tracking our rain chances for today and looking at our latest forecast models. And you can see by 1 o'clock, a small rain chance 2 through 5 p.m. I have a 20% chance of a brief shower or storm. Most places are going to stay dry once again today, but a brief shower can't be ruled out. And again, you'll want one of those brief showers for a little bit of relief. Extreme heat watch for the weekend. Saturday and Sunday, we could see peak heat index values up to 112, possibly in some spots. 99 on Monday, 101 on Tuesday and Wednesday, likely seeing heat alerts through the middle part of next week. finally some relief by Thursday with more chances for showers and storms. Ken?
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Got a handful of incidents dotting our live traffic map this morning, but a couple things I want to bring your attention to. Down in the Fuquay Arena area, this crash on Highway 401 at Sunset Lake Road. You can see the huge delays it's causing on Highway 401 and Main Street, so to speak, in both directions, as a matter of fact. So keep that in mind if you're getting ready to head out the door coming in out of Fuquay Arena this morning. Highway 55 might be your alternate route in terms of avoiding what's happening there. You're coming in from Lewisburg, Roseville, those areas on Lewisburg Road. There's this crash that's causing some huge delays in those southbound lanes. Forestville Road might be an alternative route for you this morning, but congestion is definitely picking up on that southern loop of the Beltline. So keep that in mind and give yourself some extra time.
All right, thank you, Ken. The heat is here to stay. As we approach the end of summer season, we're reminding you of ways to stay safe outdoors ahead of the heat wave. Plus, goodbye drone deliveries, where you will no longer be able to receive orders with a drone drop. That's next.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. It's a WRAL Weather Alert Day because of the intense heat that we're going to be seeing in the next couple of days. Meteorologist Grant Skinner walks us through it, Grant.
The temperature starting this morning at around 80 degrees by this afternoon. Mid to upper 90s, and with the humidity, it will feel even hotter out there. So take those AC breaks whenever you can. Take breaks in the shade or indoors, and also stay hydrated. 98 by 3 o'clock, and still by 6, 7, 8 o'clock this evening, it's going to be at around 90 degrees. So a hot evening ahead after a hot afternoon. Heat advisory in place from 11 a.m. through 8 p.m. today. Peak heat index values from around 103 to 106 degrees, and even hotter for the weekend. Ken?
Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Let's take a spin around the Beltline, starting with the southern loop of the Beltline. Right now, you can see traffic is definitely picked up, but believe it or not, nothing that's going to make you late, even though it looks so heavily congested. On that northern loop, boy, things are free and clear this morning, all delay-free in both directions as we take a live look at I-440 and Glenwood Avenue this morning. As for other routes coming into the capital city, very little to no delays, just 3 minutes if you're coming in from Wake Forest and US 1 and Capitol Boulevard. Similarly, all those major routes into the Bull City, delay-free as well.
Thank you, Ken. And we are also talking about this. Raleigh police have a man in custody after they say he accidentally shot an AK-47 into an occupied apartment. This happened on Westville Court off Lake Boone Trail at 1:40 this morning. Police say no one was hurt. 20-year-old Anthony Finch is facing charges. Go Triangle celebrating the new Raleigh Union bus station this morning. The station is on West Hargett Street next to the Raleigh Union train station. Service from the Raleigh Union bus station begins August 3rd. We'll have more weather, traffic, and news on Fox 50.
Well, a very hot day today and getting even hotter this weekend, and the heat will last all the way through next week. We'll talk about how long that heat will stay around for our area and when to expect some relief coming up.
And bracing for that intense heat, the danger is to look for if you plan on going outside this weekend. And a festival of fandom, day 2 of GalaxyCon kicks off today. What you should know before you go. Lots to catch you up on your Friday morning at 8:30. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey, and of course, we're going to start with meteorologist Grant Skinner because he has your forecast. It is a WRAL Weather Alert Day, Grant, and this is just to help keep people safe in this heat.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very hot today, and the heat lasts all the way through the middle of next week. So now through Wednesday, we have WRAL Weather Alert Days, and the reason for that is temperatures will hover around 100 degrees. We'll have heat advisories or some sort of warning in place likely each day through the middle of next week. Heat advisory in place today already. Heat index will range from 103 to 106 today. And then by the time we hit this weekend, 110 to 112 is possible in some spots for the heat index. So it's going to feel very, very hot out there. Try to make as many indoor plans as possible. The overnight hours will also be very warm, so won't get much relief during the overnight hours either. Heat advisory in place for the entire area from around 11 a.m. through 8 p.m. this evening. Peak heat index again around 103 to 106. Person County isn't included, but it's still going to be hot in Roxborough and points to the west as well. Even if you're not included in this heat advisory, it's going to still be hot out there all the way through the weekend and the first half of next week. Hour heat index above 100 degrees already past 11 o'clock, and then that will continue through 7 p.m. this evening. So a hot day ahead, and then even more heat this weekend. Ken?
All right, Grant, happening now in the WRAL traffic center. We've got a handful of incidents dotting a live traffic map, but a couple I want to bring your attention to, particularly in southern Wake County. Things are definitely beginning to ease up around this crash site on Sunset Lane Road in the southbound lane of Highway 401. This was fire red a little while ago, so if you're heading out this morning, you might run into a little bit of a delay, but no need to avoid that area because it looks like that crash is being moved off to the side. This crash on Lewisburg Road in the southbound lane near Perry Creek Road, that's also probably in the clearing phase because things are definitely moving along a little better than it was about a half hour ago. So let's take a spin around the Beltline, the southern loop of the Beltline. Right now you can see heavy congestion building, but even though you see a lot of cars out there, traffic is still moving along at a nice steady clip, even more so on the northern loop of the Beltline as we take a live look at I-440 and Glenwood Avenue this morning. As for major routes heading into the capital city, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay if you're coming in from Capitol Boulevard, US 1, if you will. And similarly over in Durham, all those major routes into Durham relatively delay-free. Now, we talked about those delay-free areas, but if you're using Wade Avenue, you're looking at a 16-minute delay. So you might want to maybe take Highway 70 as an alternate route. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Breaking news. Police in Chapel Hill say a 16-year-old who was wanted in connection with a carjacking on East Franklin Street has been arrested. Police announced this morning that Sean Dunn was taken into custody in Durham. U.S. Marshals assisted in the arrest. Dunn is charged in the carjacking as well as in an armed robbery in the area of Old Chapel Hill Road. Investigators are also looking for a person of interest in connection with both cases. That person was seen at a gas station in Durham just after the armed robbery on July 17th. Anyone with information should call 911. And Raleigh police have a man in custody after they say he accidentally shot a gun into an occupied apartment. This happened on Westfield Court off Lake Boone Trail at 1:40 this morning. Police say no one was hurt. Records show 20-year-old Anthony Finch is facing charges, including discharging a weapon into occupied property. And with this heat wave expected to last for the next 6 days, you'll want to get out early if you want to enjoy some time outside. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Lake Johnson this morning. Kelsey, you've been there all morning long talking to people who are out there right now. People really need to take precautions in these dangerously high temperatures.
Yes, Michelle, they do. And now we're starting to reach that point where people are starting to feel the heat here at Lake Johnson. But we've seen folks fishing, boating, walking, running, just enjoying some time outside before we really reach the peak of that heat later today. So we are going to be gearing up for 6 consecutive days of WRAL weather alert days, all of this because of that intense heat. Now, you just heard Grant say that we will be under an extreme heat watch this weekend. So you have to protect yourself from these dangerously high temperatures. Here are some of the signs of heat exhaustion: heavy sweating, dizziness, nausea, and weakness. If you are experiencing any of this, move to a cooler area and drink water. Now, if those symptoms don't stop, get medical help. And one of the best ways to prevent that heat exhaustion is by hydrating. So stay hydrated. Make sure that you pre-hydrate. Drink water before you get thirsty. That's the best way to regulate your body temperature and prevent yourself from overheating. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And if you are looking for a way to enjoy the weekend while avoiding the heat, GalaxyCon is a good option for you. It is one of the largest events at the Raleigh Convention Center. WRAL's Ali Calabar shares what event organizers are doing to keep you cool during this heat wave.
Not only is there a lot to see and do here at GalaxyCon, including this fandom right here, but it's also a way to escape the heat. This is video of GalaxyCon from last year. You can see the crowds. It's outgrown the convention center. This year, there will be free outdoor events as well. It's called Street Fest on Saturday and Sunday. They say they will have multiple tents set up and refreshments. A ticket inside will get you to many activities in the AC. We spoke with one GalaxyCon super fan who got here 4 hours early to beat the lines.
If you're not here early, you can be at the very end of the line, and it can take hours to get in. And right now, this is perfect temperature out here. I will be happier once I'm inside.
And while people wait outside, there's a water jug out here as well as fans to keep everyone cool, let people have a nice breeze. We know Street Fest is Saturday and Sunday. GalaxyCon runs through Sunday as well. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kathabar, WRAL News.
And you can track the rising temperatures with the newly redesigned WRAL weather app. It is free to download from your phone's app store. Make sure to turn on push notifications so you can get important weather alerts sent right to your home screen. Police are investigating a deadly shooting in Rocky Mount. It happened at Sunset Park around 5:30 yesterday. Officers were called for a shooting with injuries. When they arrived, they found one person dead. Another person was also shot and taken to a nearby hospital. Police have not released the names of anyone involved. And one man is dead after he was hit by an Amtrak train. It happened in High Point yesterday evening around 6:30. Police identified the man as 45-year-old Avery Covert. According to Amtrak, the train was heading to Raleigh Union Station from Charlotte. No one on board the train was injured. North Carolina will receive hundreds of thousands of dollars from a pharmaceutical company accused of Medicaid fraud. The fraud accusations against Gilead Sciences focus on HIV drugs the company makes. Gilead Sciences was accused by nearly every state in the country of paying kickbacks to doctors a decade ago to overprescribe them. The California company has offices in Raleigh. It paid a $200 million fine to resolve those accusations. A new program from the U.S. Department of Agriculture will help farmers still cleaning up from Chantal. It applies to people in certain circumstances, like those who cannot make loan payments or those who lost livestock. Chantal caused tens of millions of dollars worth of damage across our area. Farmers have until next March to file claims based on losses from the storm. And more federal workers will be moving to Raleigh. The U.S. Department of Agriculture will shift more than half of its workforce out of the D.C. area. Raleigh is one of the 5 cities chosen by the department. A memo cites cost of living and proximity to farmers as factors in its selection. The department will announce which offices will move to Raleigh in the next month or so. Holly Springs is saying goodbye to a drone delivery company, Flytrex. The company made an announcement on its app last week. It says it has wrapped up deliveries in the town for now. WRAL covered the start of Flytrex operations in Holly Springs in 2018. It was part of a pilot partnership with the North Carolina Department of Transportation and the FAA. The Holly Springs mayor said the announcement caught him by surprise.
I'm not aware of any conversations with it right now as far as bringing something back in, but if there are some companies who want to come out there, we'd love them to reach out to our economic development department and let's talk about it.
And he also said that Flytrex said it would like to continue serving communities like Holly Springs in the future. We are learning more about what the Nash County Animal Shelter is doing to respond to a failed inspection. Inspectors found a dead kitten and say the facility was dirty and there was no vet on site. A county spokesperson says it is working to correct the issues by hiring more staff and putting in better oversight procedures. The county says the nearly $600,000 budget will cover most of the staffing additions and fines. It'll adjust to cover 2 part-time positions. President Donald Trump's cuts to public broadcasting and foreign aid funding will soon go into effect. President Trump signed the $9 billion spending cuts package into law yesterday. The measure cuts more than $1 billion from NPR and PBS. $8 billion in foreign aid will also be cut. Trump also signed the Filing Relief for Natural Disasters Act. It allows the IRS to postpone tax deadlines for taxpayers who are affected by state-declared disasters. And the woman caught embracing her boss at a Coldplay concert has resigned. The tech company Astronomer confirmed that Kristen Cabot's resignation. The former chief people officer was seen with the CEO of the company on a giant kiss cam screen. Yeah, we've all seen this, right? The clip quickly went viral. Andy Byron, the CEO, resigned last week. According to a LinkedIn post, the tech company is searching for its next CEO. Time now is 8:41. Relief at the pump. Gas prices holding steady this summer. How this year's hurricane season could change that. And a recall alert to tell you about a popular dorm room appliance being recalled. How this mini fridge could create some big problems. Plus, we'll take you out to a live look at White Lake. It's a WRAL Weather Alert Day. Meteorologist Grant Skinner tracking the extreme heat.
It's 8:45 now on this Friday morning. A beautiful start to the day. It is already warming up quickly, though. This is the view from Roxborough. Plenty of blue skies. No clouds in sight there. You can see on satellite and radar there are some brief showers just off the coastline to the south and east. But radar is very quiet thanks to high pressure in place. It continues to build into the area, and as it builds, it will get even hotter into this weekend. Here's a beach forecast for today. Low 90s for most spots. A few spots in the upper 80s. Lower rain chances than yesterday. We had some isolated showers and storms for some spots to the north and more scattered storms to the south. There'll be quieter conditions throughout the area today. Into your Saturday, temperatures are going to be even hotter into the mid 90s, upper 90s for some. We'll talk more about a heat advisory in place for our area and the coastline, and some more heat into next week coming up in a bit.
Hey, Grant, we're following some breaking news on I-40 westbound there in Durham, right near the I-540 interchange. This is what we're talking about. You see the huge delays it's causing all the way back to Aviation Parkway. Let's take you live, courtesy of a live cam network. You see 3 of the 5 lanes are shut down as first responders work that scene. If you got to navigate I-40 westbound this morning, depending on where you're coming from, I would recommend I-540 as an alternate route, even Highway 70 if you're trying to get to Durham this morning. I'll keep an eye on it and have an update for you coming up in less than 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Ken. Gas prices remain low this summer. According to AAA, the average price of regular gas in North Carolina is $2.91. In Raleigh, the average price is $2.94. Prices are expected to continue to drop. However, the approaching peak of hurricane season could ruin that.
Obviously can be very impactful to major refineries that supply the Carolinas, those refineries down in Texas and Louisiana. Obviously, the risk is a little bit higher.
Although storms can disrupt oil refineries and fuel deliveries, the impact on gas prices is typically temporary. Well, the price of beef has hit a record high. According to recent government data, ground beef has risen 12% from a year ago, while beef steaks rose 8%. Last month, the average price of 1 pound of ground beef hit $6.12, and beef steaks cost $11.49 per pound. The reason is because U.S. cattle herd size is declining. High beef prices are anticipated to linger into the fall. And a popular dorm room appliance is being recalled. Officials say electrical components in the Frigidaire mini fridge can short circuit and start a fire. The recall affects 634,000 units. At least 26 related incidents have been reported. Those resulted in more than $700,000 in property damage. They are sold nationwide at Walmart and Amazon. If you have one, stop using it. Flash flooding hit parts of New Mexico. Emergency workers there rescued 5 people from the water. There have been no reports of missing people or injuries. This same area experienced wildfires in the past few years, making them more vulnerable to flash flooding. Remembering a wrestling icon and a pop star announced new shows. Time for a look at what's trending this morning. Global wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. He's being remembered by members of the wrestling community, including North Carolina's Ric Flair. Flair shared pictures of the two of them on X. He said in part, "Our friendship has meant the world to me," and added, "Hulkster, no one will ever compare to you. Rest in peace, my friend." And pop star Chappell Roan is performing a handful of shows this September, but you will have to travel to see her. They will be in Forest Hills, New York, Kansas City, Missouri, and Pasadena, California. The Pink Pony Club singer says she picked those cities because she loves them and wanted to do something special for them. A special IMAX screening and a new look at the new season of Percy Jackson. David Daniel has these stories and more in the Hollywood Minute.
Houston, we have a problem. Apollo 13 is returning for its 30th anniversary. The iconic film is set to screen exclusively in IMAX theaters September 19th through the 25th. It'll be the first time the full-length theatrical version has been shown in that format.
We all know that last year you did something cool. But honestly, I don't even remember what it was.
Percy Jackson news. Disney Plus unveiled this teaser at San Diego Comic-Con for season 2 of Percy Jackson and the Olympians and announced the new season will premiere December 10th.
The thing that you guys had as kids, is that still there?
I'm in a band that constantly is breaking apart and coming back together. But the more we retreat into the music, the nicer things become. Not to be profound or anything, and it would be a first time for me.
The first trailer is out for Spinal Tap 2: The End Continues. The mockumentary sequel arrives in theaters September 12th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A bunch of teenagers just graduated from a unique law enforcement program in Clayton. The department hosted a teen academy, giving 30 kids an up-and-close look at life in law enforcement. Officers taught lessons about real-life scenarios they face, and the teens went through drills and training focused on leadership and team building as well. That's pretty cool. All right, you're going to need to stay cool today because it is going to be a hot one, and this is a trend over the next week. Meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It's the reason why we've issued this WRAL Weather Alert Day.
Yeah, heat advisory in place today, and then we'll have likely more heat alerts all the way through the middle of next week because we're going to have temperatures right around 100 degrees, and with the humidity factored in, it will feel even hotter out there. Here's a view from our WRAL Garner Tower camera. It's a beautiful start to the day. Plenty of sunshine this morning, but it's already heating up fast across our area. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s for most spots, but there are some areas right around 80 degrees already. Southern Pines at 80, Fayetteville at 80, Goldsboro's at 80, and South Hills at 80 this morning. 78 in Durham and in Raleigh, Roxborough and Rocky Mount both sitting at 77 degrees to start the day. A heat advisory goes in place at 11 a.m. this morning. That'll last through 8 p.m. this evening. A peak heat index of around 103 to 106 across our area. And this heat advisory covers the entire area with the exception of Person County, but it's still going to be very hot today in Person County. Roxborough will still feel temperatures in the mid-90s, and back to the west. It's still going to be hot, just not quite at the heat advisory criteria, but you'll likely still see some hot temperatures into today and this weekend. An extreme heat watch in place for Saturday and Sunday. Peak heat index from 110 to 112 for some spots. So it's going to be a very hot weekend. Again, make sure to practice heat safety. Drink plenty of water, so stay hydrated throughout the day. Electrolytes are important as well, and also make sure to take breaks in the AC and indoors whenever possible. So highs mid to upper 90s today, 98 in Raleigh, 97 Sanford, Clinton at 96 degrees, South Hill at 96, but then you factor in the humidity, and that's when you get the heat index values, 105 Raleigh, and in Benson, Sanford at 104, Roxborough at 104, Clinton at 106, and Fayetteville could reach around 108 by this afternoon and will be even hotter there this weekend. Futurecast paints out some isolated showers, maybe a couple of storms, mainly towards the Sandhills and points to the south and west. Other areas stay pretty dry throughout the rest of the day today. You can see by 5, 6 o'clock, still only a couple of showers to the south. Most areas seeing a 10 to 20% rain chance for today, and that similar rain chance will stick around all the way through the first part of next week. Could see a couple more showers and storms on Monday, but regardless, going to be very hot all the way through the middle of next week. Finally, some relief by the time we hit Thursday.
Yeah, we are in for a very hot stretch. All right, thank you, Grant. Before we go to break, here are your winning lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic next.